Think about this. In 2009, you're in an office at JP Morgan Chase. A guy named Satoshi just put out this thing called Bitcoin. Everyone is having fun. Now we are in the present. The same organization is now looking into ways to store digital assets. This is what you didn't know about XRP as you watch meme coins get pumped and dumped. Institutional capital worth $1.3 trillion quietly moved through on-demand liquidity routes. In Q2 2005 alone. How are you, wealth builders? I'm about to show you the methodical risk assessment that sets phone number stocks apart from panic sellers. We're going to talk about why keeping XRP isn't just about making money in crypto today. It's about putting yourself in the middle of the biggest change to the financial system since the Federal Reserve was created. Also, yes, we are busting those silly RFID chip hoaxes that keep people from getting wealth that will last for generations. Everything has changed. While small traders look for quick profits, data from the Bank for International Settlements shows that XRP's consensus mechanism meets 87% of the requirements set by central banks for CBDC infrastructure. That's not just a guess. This is supported by proof from the World Central Banking Authority. Please allow me to tell you a story that will make you sick. In 2018, when XRP hit $3.80, my portfolio hit $127,000. I was that person who posted photos and called himself smart. Then there was a crash. I panic sold at 0.47 instead of learning how institutions keep their cash safe. I learned something very important from that $50,000 lesson. Timing isn't what makes you rich. It depends on knowing what the effects are on the whole economy. This is where things get interesting. 3 years later, I'm looking into other options for correspondent banking when I learned that Santander handled more than $100 billion through Ripple's infrastructure by 2025, with settlement times of less than 2 seconds compared to Swift's 36 to 96-hour processing windows. I then realized I wasn't putting money into a coin. I was getting ready for the future of cross-border payment optimization. According to people who work in the industry, Standard Nostro account optimization holds $8 to $10 trillion in idle capital around the world. Banks hold these pre-funded deposits across countries and earn interest on them. Minimal returns while basically locking up cash. This waste is completely eliminated by Ripple's on-demand funding. You will be shocked by what you are about to see. Regional banks in Mexico set up remittance lanes based on XRP. These cut settlement times from 48 hours to less than 10 minutes and fees by 60%. It's not speculative trading volume we're talking about. It's real treasury management systems that handle billions. Do research at the level of an institution. The facts are clear. Get ready for some tough facts. Federal Reserve research says that XRP Ledger handles about 0.14 million transactions every day, which makes it one of the busiest blockchain networks in the world. In home 2025, daily trading volumes average 1.73 billion, which is up 22% year over year. Asia-Pacific markets account for 30% of business. But here's the catch. More than 75% of deals are completed in less than 5 seconds, and each transfer costs an average of $0.002 when you compare that to Bitcoin's average fee of $1.35 and Ethereum's of $2.80. You can see why institutional usage is growing so quickly. Sources in the Treasury Department report that only 0.0079 kilowatt-hours of energy are used for each exchange with XRP, which is about 57,000 times less than Bitcoin's proof-of-work system. This environmental sustainability profile fits nicely with ESG requirements, which are having a bigger impact on how institutions choose to allocate their assets. What this means is shocking. Over 300 financial institutions from more than 45 countries are now part of Ripple's strategic relationships. These are not test runs. We're talking about real payment lines that handle real transactions. In Japan, SBI Holdings added XRP to lower the amount of money needed for yen-dollar passageways by 30%. American Express used ODL to cut the time it took to settle from days to seconds. Pilot programs run by the central bank show an unusual level of institutional validation. The Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan started a digital and gold pilot program, with the goal of making 85% of people in Bhutan able to access banking services. Montenegro tried out shop euros that were tokenized. The State Bank of Georgia started testing digital lorries. These government deployments make XRP more trustworthy for central banks that are looking at scalable CBDC options. Mega show the $21 trillion chance across borders. Stay in your seats because this information will blow your mind. At the moment, SWIFT handles $150 trillion worth of cross-border transactions every year. Executives at Ripple think that even if they only get 14% of this market, it will bring in $21 trillion a year in global settlements. Take a look at this. At the current XRP velocity measures, sending $21 trillion through the network could mean that it is worth more than $200 billion, since there are only 100 billion tokens in circulation, and no new ones are being made to cause inflation. Basic supply and demand economics suggest that their value could go up by a huge amount. Central bank study shows that XRP-based interoperable CBDC networks could cut the cost of cross-border settlement by 40% compared to national systems that work separately. The Digital Euro Group suggested that the European Central Bank add XRP ledger rails so that member states can settle large amounts of money at once. This is where things get crazy. This is already clear in ODL hallways. America-US flows will reach $450 billion in 2024 and over $1.35 trillion in Q2 2025. The India lanes in Brazil, the US, and Singapore grow quickly. These screens show pre-funded Nostro accounts, which frees up billions of dollars in stuck capital. A look at the technical side of the RFID chip myths. Let me put an end to this plot for good. The claims that RFID chips are required to access cryptocurrencies are standard disinformation, meant to stop people from taking control of their own money. I've tried out all the major hardware, including wallets, ledgers, treasures, and Zoom, and none of them need actual implants. This is how things work technically. Elliptic curve digital signatures, EXA, and SHA-256 hashing algorithms are used to create the cryptographic signatures that are needed for cryptocurrency transfers. For these mathematics proofs to work, they don't need any kind of physical identification device. There are several places where you can keep your secret keys safe: air-gapped computers, titanium plates, or hardware security modules. There's no need for implants. What the heck? 36% of people who answered a poll in 2025 thought that RFID implants could be used to track a lot of people, even though RFID tags only work at ranges of less than 10 centimeters. Secure element chips in modern hardware wallets provide bank-level protection without taking away the user's freedom. The RFID Fear campaign takes advantage of people who know a lot about how blockchain's decentralized validation processes work. Self-custody options that use cold storage are still completely independent. No permission from the government is needed. There are no institutional middlemen that control entry. Pure cryptographic control gives you financial freedom. Planning for an inheritance. Keeping your digital dynasty safe. Pay close attention, because what I'm about to say could save your family a lot of money. In standard banking, death certificates open accounts, but in cryptocurrency inheritance, you need to get technical ready in a certain way. Industry figures say that over 20% of the Bitcoin supply, worth billions of dollars, has been lost forever because there wasn't enough planning for the next generation. Also, I have a secret trick for you guys that no one else seems to be using. And I don't understand why. Because you get a 10% deposit bonus when you join the Buy Exchange through my link in the description. Now, please stay with me. Now comes the important part. Any trading capital you have on another market that you move to your new Buy account will give you an extra 10% trading capital on top of what